I just finished working for the day. It's about 100 degrees, and I work in construction, a lot of times on top of roofs and sometimes in attics, so I deal with the heat, especially in the summer, and it sucks. A few years ago, I worked on a landscaping company, and that's when I began to learn a few tips and tricks to deal with the heat in the summertime at work. And some of these are super obvious, but others are not so much. So I just wanted to share a few things that I've learned in the last few years of working in the outdoors in the summer. So the first thing would be super obvious, and that's to drink water. Now, when you drink water, the question becomes, when do you begin to drink a lot of water? Do you drink it when the sun comes out, when it gets hot, when you get thirsty? Turns out, and this is very important, you drink water, one, as soon as you get to the job, but two, first thing in the morning, and three, the night before. You can never drink, well, you can drink too much water, but you probably won't. And in order to hydrate yourself, you have to be hydrated before the heat hits you. You have to be prepared. So you're gonna want to drink water the night before, the day before, and especially when you're on the job in the sun, you're gonna want to drink as much water as possible. So make sure you drink water. Avoid caffeinated beverages. Because that's just gonna dehydrate you. You know, you can think that you can, if you're in construction like I am, you might think that that will give you an extra boost, you know, energy drinks, that kind of stuff, but try to avoid those because your body needs that to be hydrated. The second tip would be to make sure you get your sleep, and this goes back to the energy drinks. You can't supplement or subsidize, whatever word, your sleep with energy drinks. It's not how the human body is made. So make sure you get enough sleep, make sure you get good quality sleep, and there's a lot of good stuff on the internet to find to help you do that. Now, the third thing that you can do, and this is very important, is to wear the appropriate clothing. So if you're looking at me, you can see I'm wearing a long sleeve shirt. You might call me crazy, but I learned a while ago that that's the way you need to go. When I was in high school, I had a neighbor who had a seed business, and so he hired me and a few buddies. I was like 16 at the time, maybe. We went up into the mountains, and we legit picked flowers all day long in the summer sun, and it was quite miserable. It was, I won't say the hardest work I've ever done, but it was pretty difficult, especially for just a teenager. And so, but one thing I learned was this guy would show up when he'd wear like almost like Sunday dress shirts. And I thought he was crazy, but he said it protects you from the sun, and I thought, well, maybe I'll try it. So I started trying it, and I learned that it does make a huge difference. You know, if you ever look at the people who live out in the desert, they kind of have everything covered, and there's a reason for that. Because when you wear long sleeves, your body reacts appropriately. You'll start sweating, and it'll cool your clothing down, and it keeps your body temperature down, and it keeps you cool. And so, you know, evolutionary speaking, that's why humans, we're at the top of the food chain uh, because we can live in so many different places. Our bodies adapt to, you know, you can't find many animals that live everywhere in the world. A lot of times animals are specific to certain areas of the world, you know, the jungle, the desert, the ocean, this, that. But humans live all over the world because our bodies are able to adapt. So wearing long sleeve clothes, now not any long sleeves, I wouldn't recommend a dress shirt. You're going to want something loose, something breathable, and that will definitely help you stay cool. You can tell I saw an ad for this on Facebook. It's a face shield, so you can wear it as a mask. They say there's like a dozen different ways to wear it. I mainly wear it like this to protect my neck from the sun, or maybe I'll put like a handkerchief under my hat. I use a hat too to protect my face and protect from the sun. You, it's a little helpful, even though it makes me kind of look like a stripper or something, but that's a price I'm willing to pay. And so wearing appropriate clothes, because the alternative, you could wear a tank top or you work maybe shirtless or whatever, and that will bake you like a lobster, and you'll just go, your skin, when the sun hits your skin, if it cooks it, nothing sucks more than working in the sun being burned, because you're already down a few notches, you're already disadvantaged, and you're going to get exhausted that much easier, and it just sucks. And so it's easier to just wear the appropriate clothing, let your body do its job. You'll sweat, it'll cool you down, and you'll be able to stay cooler a lot that way. You're also going to want to wear sunglasses to protect your eyes. You need to wear that sort of protection as well. So keep your clothes on at the job site. You know, may not be the easiest thing, but it is definitely very important. So those are the kind of the main things. One tip or trick I learned a few years ago when I was doing landscaping, my brother taught me this. It was, if you have a cooler, think the 5-gallon coolers that people put, their ice and stuff in. What I used to do years ago, when I'd hit all my lawns doing my lawn mowing, we'd fill it with ice and fill it with water at the beginning of the day. And as the day would go on, we'd take our long sleeve shirts and we'd just dip them as far as you can, up to your elbows, your armpits if you can, into that ice cold water. Now obviously you don't drink this. It should go without saying. But you stick it in and you hold it for as long as you can until you can't bear it, and then you take it out and you go back to work. And then you're basically wearing ice packs on your arms, and it keeps you cool. And so you also just got to keep common sense. Don't go without drinking water during the day. Don't, you got to pay attention to how you feel. Me, a lot of times, right now I'm doing construction, and I've got my side business that I'm hoping to go full-time. But a lot of times I'm on top of roofs, and that would be unsafe for me to get dizzy, pass out, and fall off. And so you got to be very aware of your body, how you're feeling. You got to take care of that. You got to eat right. You got to sleep right. You got to hydrate. You got to do all these things right. So those are a few things that I've learned in working in the heat to make it more bearable.